All right.
Okay.
Before we get into this, one thing I learned from this apparently is the cheating. Like people have to, I feel like also people maybe didn't view it. And someone's gonna needs to correct me if I'm wrong. What I was told was if Magnus Carlsen had played the moves that DrLupo had played, it would have still looked really suspicious. I was told that this was like the equivalent of like a CS of like in CSGO or something, like someone like doing the spin bot, like 360 shooting, you know, aim bot, because it's basically like just literally playing like a perfect engine. So for the context, this was in the like, it was in Pogchamps chess tournament. And I guess DrLupo, whether or not he had it on his phone or was just reading it from his chat, he was basically just making perfect plays and playing like from a computer. And chess is at a state where it's like, if you play from a computer, you just always win.
So let's talk about the chess drama real quick.
We could speed this up.
I'm lost. Okay. So let me catch you up to speed. You've probably heard of the chess tournament Pogchamps.
Yeah.
I competed in it in like 2020, and I got second place to Charlie. But what you might know it more popularly from is when Moist Critical beat XQC in 6 moves. Right?
That was sick.
Genuinely one of the most viewed chess games of all time. It is a 2-minute chess game where he hits him with the Scholar's Mate and
like the variational approach here.
and pops off in one of the most beautiful ways of all time.
Please.
Now this is the kind of stuff that like I expect streamers to do coming into like a chess tournament. Is like you learn some like cheesy opening, or you learn like some of the like really quick chess checkmates.
And it's too soon. It's too soon, Hikaru. We didn't even reach a climax.
This was a beautiful moment.
And Pogchamps has been going on for a while, right? You might have not been tuning in, but they're on their 6th iteration. I've competed in quite a few of them. I was actually supposed to compete in the most recent one, the one that's currently ongoing, Pogchamps 6, but I had to back out because I had some other sponsor obligations and travel obligations that basically made me unable to participate. And it's still going pretty strong. Like, for example, Tyler 1 competed in Pogchamps 5, and
That was sick. And Tyler is someone where I don't think Tyler, the nature of Tyler as a streamer and competitor is he's not a cheater. He's someone where he is going to lock in and just try to get really good. And then there's some streamers where it's like they're not going to cheat because like a lot of their content is around just like taking L's or fucking up.
just from competing in Pogchamps 5 and getting made fun of for being bad at chess, went from, I guess, like 600 or maybe 400 elo to 2,000 elo. Basically climbed the equivalent of iron to diamond in chess. And so anyway, they're doing the 6th iteration. DrLupo is in it, and he's in a bracket, or in a pool, alongside Wolf Glick. All right, we know Wolf, friend of the stream, Wolf.
We love Wolfie, great guy.
And against Wolf Glick, pulls off a bit of a miracle upset. Because Wolf is a 1,300 rated player. Right? So there's 2 groups, Group A, Group B. Top 3 go to a championship bracket, bottom 3 go to a loser's bracket. Wolf lost to Lupo, and Wolf is 1,300 rated, DrLupo is 600 rated. Okay, which is pretty crazy. This is quite a big upset. But it's not just that he beat him necessarily.
Yeah, like 600 rating is like the fact that Wolf is like 1,300 means he actively plays. It's pretty. That's a pretty rare.
Fashion in which he beat him was also quite dramatic. It was down a queen in the first 8 moves, and he was able to make like a miraculous comeback, right, and end up winning the game. You know,
Space Cat, about the nature of the moves and why like maybe a grandmaster wouldn't have made those moves is it's not the initial moves that a grandmaster wouldn't have made. It was the ones later on that were like, to get to that point, like a grandmaster, like it was just like really, there was like several moves deep where it's like even a grandmaster probably wasn't like, it was like plotted a course that like clearly only a computer could have.
I'm trying to.
What's up, Dinastra?
It's like making a Smash Bros comeback, being down 2 stocks to 4, or maybe even more accurately 1 stock to 3, and the guy you're playing against goes to tournaments and you've never been to a tournament. It would just be like so insane. But the cool thing about chess,
I think because it is chess, people didn't think it was that big of a deal when like in any other game it would have looked way more obvious.
Yes. Okay. Is it's really easy to cheat in the game of chess. It's so awesomely easy to cheat in the game of chess.
Yeah, even the
because
butt plug
your
stuff.
phone is better than Magnus Carlsen. Just straight up. is so much better than Magnus Carlsen. Magnus Carlsen would admit that. So all you need to do is put the moves in that your opponent is making and then look at what the phone wants to do and then do that. That's all you have to do. But here's also the really cool thing. Because cheating is so prevalent, anti-cheating technology has gotten really good. Now, the way anti-technology cheating works is different than like Valorant. Okay, they're not stopping cheating preemptively by going onto your computer and seeing if you've accessed any sites to cheat. What they're doing is judging the accuracy of moves and how well you're playing. And basically, everyone who plays chess is playing at a certain level of variance, right? Like the best you can play and the worst you can play has like a few hundred points of variance. But over a few moves, you could play far outside that variance. And if they detect that, they'll give you like a fair play violation, okay? Basically, they have determined based off analysis of your moves that you're playing far out, not only outside of your skill level, but outside maybe the skill level of humans, and that you are cheating. Now, this might sound like wishy-washy science. I think some non-chess heads are like, dude, what if you just played well and got lucky? It doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think that's the part that like, I think one of the biggest issues in this whole cheating thing is that when you see someone cheating in like CSGO or in these games where they're like spinning around, doing 360s, aimbot, hitting things, like aimbot and stuff like that looks really obvious. Cheating in chess doesn't look really obvious, but it is just as impactful.
It doesn't happen. Like playing computer moves or best moves is such a rare occurrence. Because you have to think, they have solved like the first, what is it, like 5 moves of chess? Oh, is it that last 7 pieces? Basically, like after a certain amount of moves, you reach such a high potential number of potential lines that could be taken that like there's an infinite number of moves. You know, within like 10 moves, you're playing oftentimes like a game that's never been played before. And because there's all these lines, if you start picking the best move, like the literal single best move you can do multiple times in a row, it's guaranteed you're cheating. So after the game, the chess world blew up. Like a bunch of really prestigious chess players came out, like Andrew Tang, who's one of the best bullet players in the world, and started like calling out Lupo for cheating, just based off their knowledge of chess and their understanding of what Lupo is even capable of doing. Andrew Tang, not Tate. Although Andrew Tate is pretty good at chess, he might also be able to call it.
Okay.
He might have been able to call that. Dude, I'm not lying. It was every single chess GM who commented on it was unanimous that it was obvious he was cheating. And even in private conversations with GMs, they told me the same thing, okay? They told me the same exact thing, like, yes, it is obvious he's cheating. And so after the fair play violation, Lupo tweeted out. He said, regarding chess.com Pogchamps tournament, had a ton of fun playing, but decided to drop out of the event. Interesting. Decided to drop out to help maintain competitive integrity for those involved, as well as attorney organizers. Having the main stream up on my left monitor over the course of the day to watch other games being played led to me getting move information I shouldn't have had for a game. That's on me and no one else. That's my fuck up. I apologize. You think I know better, but here we are. Okay?
In all of this, and it's one of those things I'm like, I'm disappointed in all this because like, listen, chat, I'm of the belief that people screw up and we fuck up and we do dumb shit. We do greedy shit. So like, dude, I fucking cheated on my chemistry test in freshman year of college. Chicago, please don't, revoke my degree, right? But like, we've all done shit that we shouldn't have done, right? I mean, that kind of shit, I don't think we think of it as bad, right? I think in life, I don't mind when people do bad things as long as they are willing to genuinely and honestly apologize for it, and that's what I look for. And so in all of this is like, I just feel like he didn't really apologize well.
And here's the issue. Normally, you would just lay this to rest, okay? He cheated. He admitted to cheating.
Yeah.
You move on. But that was also a lie. Because what he said is that he cheated in one game. It's not true. He cheated in both games against Wolf Glick. Okay? Minor nitpick. Could be a grammatical error. He also, almost assuredly, did not cheat in the way that he claims he cheated. He claims that he had the game open, like the stream open, and was reading the stream chat. But part of what you're able to do when you look through somebody's game is judge how quickly they are making their moves. And the time it was taking him to make his moves, a lot of the time when he's making the best move, was quicker even than Twitch chat would be able to input this. Not only that, but Twitch chat also just wasn't saying this. Like, you can go back to the VOD and you can see that if you...
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, from my understanding, like there's a world where it's like, hey, you have like a chatter. Like, for instance, I could hire Boomike if you're there. I could hire you to basically play out the game. And then while everyone's spamming moves, I look for the one move from Boomike and be like, oh, I know he's the one like inputting this shit. But even then, like to Ludwig's points, like there wasn't always that move in the chat, and it wasn't fast enough.
The chat isn't just spamming out the book best move. That doesn't happen usually. What people do is they might write a notation for a possibly good move, but they're actually just being active participants watching. And it certainly isn't 26 moves in a row. You might have heard this stat that Lupo played the best move 26 times in a row. So 26 times in a row, there wasn't someone in chat typing chess notation.
That is insane.
Bishop F4, that wasn't happening. It just, there was no, and there's no chat. You can't find.
I don't think, I think this was a nice pause point. I think what's interesting about this case of cheating is I don't think Lupo and anyone else who wasn't like a chess Andy knew like how obvious it was, like how obvious the cheating was and how blatant it was. Like I said, and this is what I'm saying when people are like, we said this earlier, guys, chat the one who cheated, not him. He just read the chat, 100% believable. No, but the problem is chat, like there's no way that like the only explanation for this is that there was literally someone in chat that he was specifically looking for that had this all tracked out and he didn't play it fast enough. So the biggest issue is that it's like, it would be like if I went and played in a CSGO tournament, like on stream, and I just had aimbot installed on my PC and everyone's like, wait, Blau, like you just have aimbot. And like, I don't think that it's aimbot. I'm like, no, I was just, you know, I got a new mouse. I'm just playing better. Like, you know,
chats of that happening because it didn't happen. And I'm also willing to bet, and this is no shade, but I'm also willing to bet Lupo can't even read chess notation that quickly. If it says KXF4, that motherfucker is having a little bit of a think. Okay? And that's not me trashing him as a man. That's me judging him as a 600 level player. Because
what's
I'm
that?
a
Knight
level player, and I can't do it that quickly. Okay?
F4?
That's just what it is. So I decided I would ask. Because he tweeted this out, and I'm talking to Hess. I'm talking to a chess GM about this, and he's like, yeah, he for sure cheated. Yeah, it for sure wasn't chat. And so I say, streets are saying it was an engine. Are the streets keeping it 99? And he said, nah, anal beads. Joke. Also, believe me or not, I played what I played. Pulled from chat, though. Couldn't stop looking, which, as I said, I know better. So he's basically making an argument that, yes, he was reading chat. Chat was giving engine-level moves, and he was executing those engine-level moves. Now, I want to just go through one of the games here. Now, I'm by no means a chess pro. So, you know, my analysis is not going to be top-notch here. But this game starts out, you have Wolf, who's playing the black side, and Lupo, who's playing the white side. Pretty horrendously for Lupo after he makes this blunder here.
Like he loses his queen, right?
Position, but he makes a blunder where he captures this knight with his knight, okay? Which blunders his queen, and then Wolf gets his queen, and you're in a very bad spot being down a queen, right? But then he starts making, and this is the 26 move streak, just the most godlike moves you've ever seen, okay? He recaptures, that's fine. Bishop's threatening the knight. He plays, this is probably the craziest individual move. Okay, pawn to b4, which is just sacrificing his pawn because, you know, he's not going to grab this because we just trade out. This is a free +1 piece. And the reason you do that, I talked to Hess about this, is to do a rook lift, right? Rook lift, basically the idea of getting rook past your line of pawns, getting it here. So you're sacrificing this to do a unfettered rook lift, which he does, to get his rook into play. This is This is an insane move to make. And if you watched Lupo's stream of him before admitting to cheating, he tries to come up for a reason why he made this move. But he couldn't conjure the idea of a rook lift because he doesn't know what a damn rook lift is. Because he's not a 600 level player. Excuse me, a 1600 level player. Or a 2600 level player at that matter. So let me see if I can find the clip here. Hold up.
Is there a world in which I get that queen back? I almost have him trapped. He's gonna have only one good spot to go to in a second. I can can him up in there. If I take that, if I go there, then he just takes it. If I go there, no. And he's going after that. If I move the knight, God, I don't like this at all, dude. I would be forcing him to. I could force him to take the pawn instead of the knight. Yeah, we'll try it. I want to try and free that knight. Now he's got 2 moves away. Get away from there. Come on. Let him just exist. Okay. gonna try and get in position for up top.
I see. I never even watched the
Start cleaning out
game.
up there.
Chat. This is.
In his explanation, he just kind of glazed over it. He just kind of glazed over why he decided to sack his pawn, not super understanding the move, because it's a very high-level concept. I think the moves that most people hone in on are the moves from move 27 to 31.
Guys, I'm starting to think, yeah, people with doctor in their gamer titles, I don't know if I trust them as doctors.
So let's just get to that point here. Okay, so
I guess here's the thing that sucks, though, is like, I'm not saying DrLupo is a bad person. In fact, I've loved watching it. He's done great streams. He's a great streamer. It's like really sad that like he doubled down on
Right
all
here.
this. Like, why?
he has a lot of pieces in action, right? He's got 2 bishops. His knight is rook. His knight is
Oh,
under
no,
threat.
Dr. Miami's legit.
And he makes a good move to move it here. Okay, now his bishop is under threat. And
Boozly
would have to, like,
PhD is
escape,
fine.
You know, back here or something. But instead of doing that, does a counter threat onto his opponent's rook. So he leaves his bishop under threat. But a rook's more valuable than a bishop. So Wolf has to respond and makes a blunder. And then he finds, knight protects bishop. It can attack this queen. And then Wolf makes a big mistake. Moves his queen back 1, thinking his queen was safe here. He misread the board. This bishop is actually attacking the square. So what is the next natural thing to do here? If you are white, you take the queen.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
what I
an
do.
awesome trade. You get a queen in exchange for a single bishop. It's an
Yeah.
amazing trade.
Huge.
That's not what he does.
There is no way a 600 player doesn't take the queen there.
Instead, he pulls back his knight for a check onto the king, which doesn't instantly lead to anything, by the way. It's not like this is checkmate. He just pulls back for a check on the king. The king moves here, and then still doesn't capture. He still doesn't capture. The queen is left. Another turn goes for a rook check on the king. The king has to pull back. Then he captures the queen while the king is trapped in the corner.
Yeah,
and then finds a beautiful mate in 4. Finds a beautiful mate in 4 where he checks with the bishop. He uses the rook, which is double attacking his opponent's rook, to capture it. And then, boom, because his rook blocks the king in, pulls back, is able to checkmate there. Crazy good moves to make a comeback from
that
-4
is insane
to beating a player double his rank. And what was kind of annoying for me is when I watched this clip. This is right after the tournament.
Saying that you cheated against the Wolf guy, okay? I got another guy on YouTube as well saying I cheated. Probably that's who called Lupo cheater. Probably Wolfie's chat.
That is what made me so mad. Is people came into his chat, started accusing him of cheating. Now,
Bro, by the way, poor Wolfie. Dude just wants to play Pokemon, and apparently Wolfie was like actively like practicing for this shit.
based off the messages, I think these people are just chess fans. Okay, maybe they understand that he's
I
cheating.
don't think
based
it
off
was
their own
Wolfie's
knowledge. Maybe
chat.
they've heard a creator they like who's good at chess and say that he cheated and they're parroting it, or maybe they just are a fan of drama and they're parroting it. But there's people going, "Hey, you cheated against."
All right, chat. It is time for Hell Let Loose. I still want to watch the rest of this because, again, this is like one of those where it's tricky. I don't think DrLupo is necessarily like a bad. Like one of the things that sucks about this, probably sucked for Ludwig even to do, is like, why? Like we're having to, and if people are like, oh well, it's like why are you getting involved in drama? It's like I feel like this is the kind of drama that like, and honestly, props to Lud for like calling this out and actually like discussing it and not just sweeping it under, because like this was pretty fucked to like do this at a Twitch. Or like, sorry, not Twitch, but like to do this during a streamer tournament that has prize money that makes a big difference for a lot of people, right? Like, and it especially like, I don't know, dude. If someone was cheating and they're just trying to grind to make some money and they're broke, I get that. Like, cheating's kind of like stealing to me, dude. If you're broke and you're stealing shit, I'm kind of like, I get it, right? But like, imagine some giga rich person is stealing from people. That's not cool, right? And it's like at a certain point, all these streamers are giga rich. Why are we doing this, right?
It's that Wolf guy, and Lupo's gut reaction here is that's Wolf's chat.
Cheater. Probably Wolfie's chat.
And like, if you know Wolfie, if you know Wolf Glick, it's just like just not in 100,000 years would Wolf have even said something negative about his opponent. And I'm willing to bet he.
Well, one sec, I'll be right back.
Hasn't said something negative, even knowing that he was cheated in that game. Nor would he like try to activate his chat to attack someone. If
Oh,
he
it actually
cheated.
worked?
Like I'm sure Wolf was like, "Damn, I got cooked," stressed, on to the next game. I'm sure that's what Wolf did. So it kind of sucked to see that for him to start accusing Wolf's chat of like causing the drama. It's just such a lack of understanding of Wolf as a person.
Oh, you said I looked at my left side every time before making a move. The impulse of looking at chat. Okay, dude. I don't know, man. Hey, Chess Kryptonite on the YouTube side. Listen, man. If you want, you can watch back through. That's fine, dude. People are saying he's looking at his left monitor. I naturally just here. I can even.
I think a huge part of this is that DrLupo got caught in a lie, doubled down, and some people just double and then triple down in a lie. But the craziest thing about it is like he doesn't realize how. So to reiterate again, Chad, for context, we're looking at the cheating stuff from chess. Is like this is like using like wall hacks in an FPS. It was insanely obvious.
I can hit the button for you. This is what my monitors look like, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I beat your boy. It was one game.
And like obviously this guy isn't a Wolf Glick fan. His name's like Chess fucking Kryptonite. He's not watching Pokemon content. He's a 2150 rated player. He probably watched Tyler One punch his face into a monitor grinding chess, and then he watches Pogchamps tournaments because he likes chess. He's just someone who's calling out what he understands because of his higher level of knowledge of the game. That's it. It's not like this bro isn't like, dude,
Exactly. Because all the people that were calling him out would not have been Wolf's viewers. It was all like good chess players. Because again, it's like regular people can watch a video game and see someone like aimbotting or wall hacking or fucking glitching around the map, right? In a lot of video games, cheating's really obvious. In chess, you actually have to have a really good understanding of the game. But at that point, then they're like, that's really fucking obvious.
love when Wolf played the Incineroar. What a fucking spin-off. What a mix-up. That's not what, it doesn't happen. It's not what happens.
He played the Incineroar.
Yeah. Coming back after losing Queen. I'm not great at chess. I had a really good couple games. I'm not trying to play the pity card, dude, but it's...
But what is sick about chess is you can't have a couple of really good games. At least not that really good. It is like as obvious as he's spitting as you can. Slime, thank you for 50 months. Happy belated birthday, guys, to Slime in chat, who just got surgery today and fucking lived. Shout out. You can't. You can't have games that are that good. You can have good games, but good for your skill level. You can't have book perfect games. And that's kind of an odd.
Yeah, this is like there are lucky shots or games that involve luck where like, especially like in like a game like TFT or Hearthstone, like some of these like luck based games, you could like draw some really good stuff. Chess is really fucking solved and they have a really good understanding of how well you can play.
Awesome thing about chess because it's so statistically impossible. It's as obvious to good players as somebody playing CS2 or Valorant and like snapping to headshot angles, clicking the Guardian once, blowing up somebody's skull, and then like, you know, walking away clunkily. It's like as obvious.
It sucks seeing the chess.com chat, you know, between games I'm pulling it up, people fucking being dicks, you know? They're accusing you of using chat. I don't think so. I don't really know what they're accusing me of doing. You guys are on my left monitor, but I hide you in game.
That's the thing is DrLupo, and like, you know, he was so not good at chess that he didn't even understand. That was also one of the biggest issues with this was he was so not good at chess that he didn't even understand how bad this looked. And this isn't to say that DrLupo is necessarily a bad guy, right? It just kind of sucks that like a seemingly good streamer and good dude who does a lot of good stuff.
When I'm in a game, besides when I was
doubled down
saw
on
some
this.
of the shit y'all were recommending and it was bad. You have an engine up on the other screen spitting out the best moves. Those take forever to do stuff though. We're on a time limit.
No, they don't take forever to do. I think he knows they don't take forever to do. Your phone can do it instantaneously.
Ludwig's wrong here. This is where I think Ludwig's wrong. I don't think he knows that. I think he thinks that like chess computers are like spinning and whirling and fucking boots up doing these crazy calculations. And he doesn't realize that like your own phone, as Ludwig said earlier, your own phone can beat Magnus Carlsen, right? Like,
it's quite quick. Now to calculate like between what might be the first or second best move, yes, sometimes it does take a little bit to load. But just for what would be like a top 3 or 4 move, it's pretty fucking instant. So anyway, that was yesterday, right? And so he you know comes clean, but doesn't super come clean. Then he went live this morning. I watched his whole stream before he went live to play normal games. So he went live today, which was I thought pretty bold. He went live and he.
I don't think it's bold. I think if you're a streamer and you're caught doing anything bad, the thing is you go live, you say. You do your apology, you say I fucked up, and then you just keep doing your content as normal because the only one who can cancel you is yourself. So you just keep doing your content as normal. That is the way to do it.
And he had this to say.
I betrayed the trust of the chess community. I betrayed the trust of my chat. And I lied directly to Wolf. And so if some reason you see this, I'm sorry.
Stupid
I
fucking
got
mistakes,
in
man.
a fight or flight moment and panicked and doubled down. The reason I'm saying this stuff is not because I'm like, I don't want sympathy. I don't need that. Actually, if anything, I told mods to not censor anything in chats today because it's the only. I mean, I deserve it. I do. I absolutely deserve it. I fucked up. I fucked up and hurt people that were probably pretty excited to have a big creator in their space. At least used to be big. I've loved chess for a really long time. Played when I was in middle school and high school. And I am.
I don't think that's a bad apology.
It's funny too because I'm the Tarkov guy that's always very anti-cheater, right? And then of course it's the person that's so loud and vocal about it that turns around and ends up doing it.
Now he had what I thought was a pretty poignant statement here, right? Like, because most people who are excited about this drama don't care about chess, right? They're like, and most of you guys, frankly, are like dog shit at chess. You couldn't.
I agree with this, but I do think that there is a. Don't get me wrong. What Lupo did is bad. It's fucked. But like, there's like a few angles on this whole story. I wonder if Ludwig can. I think people like salivate and almost jack off, like masturbate to the idea of like other creators or someone who's kind of like maybe bigger, more famous than them, like getting knocked down a level, right? And so everyone just gets so horny for watching someone else
Care less. You probably couldn't name
Suffer
more
defeat.
than 5 chess players, you know, who are active for the most part. Like 95% of people here, and 95% of people probably who are aware of this chess cheating drama. It's more like flavor of the day, exciting to rag on this guy who did something fucking stupid and make fun of him. But what I thought was cool was understanding why he did it. Like why he.
Okay, this is the part that I think is gonna be interesting.
And I don't know if he talks about it in this clip.
That I was being genuine. I recognize too that by betraying your trust, because I lied to you guys too. You know, the people that watch me, obviously there's gonna be people that are gonna be flowing in and saying all sorts of stuff all day. I deserve it. It's fine. Let it go. You don't. Nobody that watches me has to defend.
I think it's a later clip, but he basically talks about how he doesn't know if he's cut out to be a streamer because he has such a high insensitive ego that if he feels like his ego is being hurt in some way, he rushes quickly to defend it. And he brought up like an example. He basically admitted to having a high level of fragility. And there was like a moment where like a friend of his like, you know, roasted him for looking tired and he fucking yelled at the guy. And I guess in this moment, his fragile ego was like losing to somebody in a game that a lot of people equate to intelligence. And if you lose, like you're fucking dumb or something.
Oh yeah. I got to listen. I have some stories about this, chat. Oh, remind me in like 2 years. I have some stories about. I have that is a great point from Ludwig.
And basically not being able to handle either the made up comments or the comments that he accurately predicts will come when a negative outcome arises. Now, obviously, it doesn't excuse cheating, but I think it's cool to understand the like the emotion that went into cheating in the first place, which is ultimately just fragility, you know, ego, and like some sensitivity there. Some insecurity, really. This guy's almost 40. Yeah, but like, you know, and that's like an interesting comment to make because like
I'm not saying all streamers. I'm just saying a lot of streamers I think are kind of maybe and I'll even say myself included are sort of stunted in development, very stunted in development, to where like the idea of like I'll just say this, chat, like, and I'm not like, this isn't like to spread drama or like say names. I'm not going to say any names. I probably never will. I will just say that there are many streamers whose actions have deeply disappointed me and shocked me that they themselves don't really even view them as bad things and never will unless they come out to the public. It's like one of those weird things where it's like, sometimes you almost want, like, it's like, yeah, on the one hand, it's like, there's a bunch of stuff where it's like, you don't really want to make that public and cause drama for people. But on the other hand, it's like, you kind of want it to come out to the public because a lot of them just won't. You want them to get caught because they won't actually reflect on it unless they get caught.
Those are issues that I think persists in people's lives until they die. Some people do grow out of it. but it's not like a exclusively childlike emotion. Insecurity is not
True.
childlike, it is human-like, you know? So he's a human who's, it seems like, dealing with pretty intense insecurity and, you know, fighting it rather than accepting it by trying not to end up in positions where he could have his ego hurt, as opposed to like maybe leaning into it or whatever. So I think that's personally interesting, right? And like DrLupo, I think in a lot of people's minds is like one of two things, right? If you know DrLupo, you either think of him as the guy who used to be Ninja's friend who played Fortnite, or maybe you are a viewer of Lupo and you like Tarkov, or maybe you know him as St. Jude's charity guy who raises millions of dollars every year. Like
That's I think the other thing I want to say, like even watching this video and being like critical of Lupo is like I know Lupo as St. Jude's charity guy who has consistently used his platform and his success to raise millions of dollars for charity.
that is kind of how most people think of him. And you probably don't think about him too much past that if you're not an active viewer. So it's like it's a pretty big shot, right? You got like, bro, you got dumbasses like Yoxic. Like Yoxic, brother, he couldn't tell you how the night moves. Who are coming in trying to find out what he did through a, somewhat accurate, somewhat half-assed basketball reference. And then he's just going to forever have an opinion of DrLupo based off of that kind of half-assed analogy until they all die. Like that will be the case. And many other people will be in that same boat as Yoxic. So, I'm not minimizing it. It's a massive fuck up, and we'll punish.
It is a massive fuck up, but I'll say this: the ones that in the streaming scene, the ones that really shock you the most are the ones that you wouldn't expect it from. The ones who other people consider to be like really sweet and nice people, and then when they do something nefarious and heinous, that's where it really fucks with your mental. And trust me, it's not just DrLupo.
Punish him in the future just based on people's opinions of him. But I personally don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, because I think if you do fuck up, or maybe even when you do fuck up, like I think the accountability is the good part. Now he did piecemeal it. That's the biggest issue. If he did it all at once, he'd be better. He did piecemeal it, right?
True.
So like he had a half-assed lying apology where he didn't fully admit to it. Then he had an admission of why he did it. And then just finally, at the end of his stream, he actually admitted to it.
It's okay. Like I said before, I cheated and then lied about it, and paying the price, man.
We're gonna need
probably gonna take a break out of this.
Hopefully,
I'm
good.
good.
The birds. Hopefully, there's containers in this game when it comes out, because fuck.
Yeah. Also, now he hasn't fully said if he used an engine specifically, but at least he's saying he cheated. I don't know if he used an engine, by the way. I don't know if he used an engine. I don't know if he used an extension. I don't know if he had somebody message him the moves by putting it into a game. I don't know if he had a second game on a second monitor where he input the.
Yeah, again, it's like it was more than just getting help from chat. He clearly had something else going on. We just don't know what.
Oh, did he actually say it directly? Wait, hold up. Then I'm just not getting the right clip.
It sucks that I fucked up, and I deserve 100%. I deserve 100% of what people are saying. Using the engine to fix my own fragility is fucking pathetic. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
So he eventually admits
it takes about 24 hours, but he finally admits to using the engine to.
To be fair, I've been caught in lies before where I do that, where you're like kind of like doubling down on it, trying to like defend
legitimately
yourself.
cheating and basically how he got to that position.
I feel like a lot of us
I
have been in that
I think most
situation
people
where we're trying to like
don't cheat, right? But I think if you look at the group of people who do cheat, most don't take accountability how he is at least taking accountability, even if it was piecemeal. Like it took a little bit to get there. So I think it's at least a positive step there. Not to get him off the hook, because maybe.
I think okay. Overall, now having heard all of Lud's take, I actually really like how Lud has handled this, because I do think there are some people who are kind of excusing it and who don't think it's that big of a deal when it's like it actually was a really big deal. But I also think there are some people who are like using this to just absolutely vilify, crucify like DrLupo. And it's like, okay, it was bad. He did take accountability though.
Like if this is a different,
let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Different game. If this isn't chess, if it isn't so obvious to GMs that he's cheating, or IMs, or even like just higher rated players as a whole, and he got away with it, maybe he'd never admit it, right? That's always the thing with cheating is like, would you have ever admitted it if you didn't get caught? And very few people do. Okay. In fact, if we're being honest, I'm probably one of the only ones. If you think about it, I'm probably the only motherfucker who cheated, got away with it, and then still told you guys, okay? So XQC coming at my neck saying, reminder that Ludwig cheated Among Us. Brother, I'm the only one coming clean these days. I would argue because I cheated, I proved myself to be one of the most honest people around. Please give me a Twitch Prime.
I will say also, I think there's like, I think we can also agree there's probably, in Ludwig's defense, there's probably like a spectrum of how bad cheating is. Like cheating in $100,000 chess tournament and using an engine versus playing in like an Among Us lobby and like using some meta information to know who an imposter is. It's like, you know, we all accidentally saw a chat at some point, right? Listen, Bucko, you got Chatterino open? You know, like, yeah, so I don't think it's as bad. Anyways, I think something, an interesting observation I have in the streamer space is that there's a lot of pretty questionable and or heinous things that go on. And then there's some things that are like here's what's funny. There's things that are like, hey, that's bad, but that's some personal, that's like a more personal drama kind of thing. It's bad, but okay, that's kind of personal drama. And then there's some like pretty heinous stuff. And when the like kind of bad but personal drama stuff goes public, people will still like react to that a bunch. Like, I think streamers are basically more sensitive to, did something go public, not how bad was it? Because there's any number of like pretty bad things that if they don't go public, no one will bat an eye about. And so a lot of it really does come down to like, does it go public? Do they, you know, and I think that's one of the key differences I've seen between like streamer friend groups and personal friend groups is like normal friend groups will be much stricter about like really heinous shit going on. Whereas like streamers, it's like, well, did they get caught? Did it come out publicly? You know, so.